Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to Hollywood After Dark. It is Friday, January 6, 2023. Of course, we're 2 years post-Insurrection Day, and we're going to be talking about the new Flash suit, the What the F is the Other Flash suit, and a whole bunch of other news coming out of Hollywood. Like, hey, did you know Avatar 2 made a lot of money and is going to get sequels? I know, right? It's fucking wild, but it's Hollywood After Dark, folks. Let's fucking go. Hey, what's going on, everybody? How you guys doing? Welcome to the party. Welcome to the show. Sorry for being a little bit late tonight. I got into another conversation on another stream. It's how it happens. MCU Cheese Jokes here says late as usual. You know, I got to keep you guys waiting. Tonight is definitely later than usual. I was out doing my normal Uber Eats delivery driving in a rainstorm, which is always a lot of fun. So that was an interesting evening, to say the very least, you know. Anyway, though, sorry I also missed last night. Just wasn't feeling the best. These things happen. But I did actually finally get myself on track a little bit more. I know I've been talking a bit about it on the show. I talk about patio commentary, right? We can see here, this is the schedule for the month. So today, I actually dropped the newest episode of the show about Oblivion. That is up, patio commentary on YouTube, or you can find it anywhere you get your podcasts. The thumbnail design is still evolving as time goes on, but coming up on Wednesday is Battle LA, which is one that I'm looking forward to talking about. Of course, January 18th, Prisoner is another great film. And then The Mist rounds out the month. A lot of good stuff there. And you guys have been enjoying it, so I enjoy making it as always. It's always a fun thing to talk about movies in a positive way and to dive in. By the way, though, real quick, the Oblivion episode, I actually was planning on it only being like 25, 30 minutes, maybe. Ended up being 44 minutes. So if you want to get a lot of info and my thoughts on that movie, which you hopefully do, you guys can check that out. YouTube.com/patio commentary. I know I'm kind of shilling myself a little bit there, but that's what I do. Let's see. MCU Cheese Jokes here asks, have you ever been tempted to eat the food you're delivering? No, I actually haven't been tempted to eat the food I'm delivering. If the food ends up getting like the order gets canceled or the people aren't home or whatever, and I end up getting the food, yeah, I've eaten it then. Normally what I do when I get something like that is I'll have maybe a little bit of it, and then I'll end up just going and giving it to a homeless person. And I've done that multiple times. There was one night where somebody had ordered like 4 20-piece chicken nuggets and like 4 large French fries and like a frappe. This was a couple years ago to some house. And I picked up the order and I took it over to the house. I knock on the door and this woman answers and she's like, I don't know what's going on. I didn't order any food. I'm like, she's like, maybe my daughter ordered the food. And then, you know, her daughter didn't order the food. So I got all of these foods. So I had one of the chicken nuggets. I had like a 10 piece of them. And then I ate like, you know, one of the fries. It was my dinner. But then I took the rest of the stuff and I just gave it away. That's what I do. We have a lot of homeless people here in Olympia, Washington. And so I do try to help out where I can on that one. McDonald's has great deals of buy one, get one. So for $1. So if you're not really hungry, you can always just drop the extra $1 and then give the extra burger to somebody. That's a nice way of going about it as well. My girlfriend does that quite a bit. Anyway, let's see. Roman here says, if you did that, you deserve to get beat up at the door. What, to order the food to another place? I mean, oftentimes it's just an address issue. But another thing that happens with that is people will like have prepaid phones, or they'll turn their phone off and I can't contact them. And then after 8 minutes, I get the food. That's how this works. Let's see. MCU Cheese here says, I was delivering once and a woman answered the door in a pink bra and her underwear. Yeah, that's happened. Not like that. Not necessarily like, I've never really seen them in like a bra and underwear. A woman did come out once, only wearing a towel over her top. And it turns out that she was breastfeeding and she came out to get her panda. And then she just like wanted to talk to me while she was shirtless, but just a towel covering up her breasts. And I was just like, okay, I don't know what to do here, lady. You know, I'm going to go because this is just awkward. You know, I've had like people come out like half naked. My favorite one though, was I had people demand that I deliver food to the door. And this was before like it was more of a thing, right? Like the COVID was like, you know, drop at the door, leave it. But before then, it was really this, like people would meet you outside more often than not. They would just come out, they would get the food from you rather than like you having to park and walk up and drop it off. COVID changed all that shit. But there was one, it was a hotel and they were like, deliver to the door, deliver to the door, deliver to the door. And I joked with the girl at the restaurant about that. And I'm all like, that can only mean one thing. Like these people are having sex. I get to the hotel. I tell the front desk clerk where I'm going. She contacts the people and she says, they want you to deliver to the door. And I looked at her and I said, it can only mean one thing. And she's like, maybe. All right. Anyway, I get in the elevator. I go to the top floor. I go to the apartment or the unit at the end of the hall. I knock on the door and this like redhead opens the door just wearing the top sheet of the bed, right? It was just draped around her. You know, like a towel sort of thing. I handed her the food. I left. I get down to the lobby. I look at the front desk clerk and I go like, called it. People they just wanted the attention. They wanted someone to like, I don't know, to see what they were missing, I guess. Like, what are you doing? You know, like, oh, is this, you know, maybe if I was more attractive, they might have tried offering me up a spot in the sandwich, you know, would have been probably a piece of bread, not the meat, but you never know. But no, I'm not single, and I'm definitely not as attractive as I maybe could be. So that didn't happen. Rational says here, did it ever turn into a porn where they wanted to tip you in sex? No, that's never happened. I've had people like want to talk to me, like invite me in and stuff. People have offered me beer. That happened when I was doing census work. Actually, I got offered beer quite a bit, and I couldn't take any of it. Jess here says, as an Uber driver, what is a customary tip for delivery that is about 2 miles? I mean, on average, like we like to argue $2 per mile would be pretty good because of there and back sort of thing. But traditionally $5 is fine if it's just 2 miles away, up to 8. If you're feeling generous, 8 is always good. But really it's just, you know, doing like $5 is fine. So, Justin here, bringing it back to the movie nudes. Good job, Justin. Says Kristen Ritter has shared a new gym selfie wearing a Daredevil shirt, sparking speculation from fans that she may be training for potential Jessica Jones return in Daredevil Born Again. Well then, that is something actually. That could be something we're checking out. If you got a link to that, let me know. I'll check it. Is it on Instagram? Might be on Instagram. Let's see here. I'll just look it up. Kristen Ritter Instagram. Let me just look this up. I would love to see her come back as Jessica Jones, to be honest with you. I thought she was really good in the role. Not that I'm seeing her post anything on her Instagram. She's got pictures of her kid. I know she had a kid a couple years ago. So maybe, is it on the Reels? No, I don't know where you're seeing it though, man. It's not on her Insta. So, but it'd be cool I would be okay with her coming back if she wanted to come back. But I think we need to talk about somebody else coming back, because here we are. Here we are in, like, we're talking about The Flash. We're talking about Ezra Miller, The Flash, what's going on with that. And today some new material came out. Some new material came out that really kind of like got people talking about this. So this is being shared by Nicotina Show, #4nerds, one of the guys behind the Project Justice League motion comic that did pretty well. And he posted this. I don't know where the source on it was. I couldn't find it on Reddit. But this is the source, and it's this is what it is. And it's The Flash showing off the new suit. And it looks kind of like, I mean, it looks a little bit like the design from the show. And I wonder if that's being done on purpose. All right. I wonder if that's being done on purpose. Roman numerals here says, nice transition. I'm good at that, man. I'm really good at transitions. The craziest one will come when you least expect it. But anyway, I'm just saying, you look at this, it looks a lot like Grant Gustin's suit, the way this designed for the show. And I can't help but ask myself if they're trying to make this its own thing as a result, like they're trying to have enough connection between the two that that people don't realize that like it's Ezra Miller and it's not Grant Gustin. Because you can tell it's Ezra, but it's also like, is it really Ezra? Is it Ezra or is it Grant Gustin? I got no idea, but this is what they've got. And I think it's not like a terrible looking suit. It's going to look really good in the movie. It does kind of harken back to like the old comics, which is obviously what they're going for. But then I do ask myself here, after 9 years of the Flash television show, and after that getting ready to come to an end, is that going to be something like, are those fans going to want to go see the movie starring somebody else like within a week? Because that's the other thing that's happening here is that the Flash show ends, and then like a week later, the Flash movie comes out. And originally it was the Flash show was going to end after the Flash movie came out. And what's really funny is the Flash movie was announced like the week, like the day after or the week after the Flash show was premiered in 2014. So it's really interesting to see just where things are going to be going on this. And we really have no idea like how things are going to play out. There's a lot of people talking about the marketing of this film. Apparently there's going to be a trailer popping up here at the Super Bowl is very soon at the beginning of next month. Maybe a 30-second spot or something. I think Flash Film News has confirmed that it's going to be happening. I know that the investor meeting information dropped the other day. There are some people talking about that. I don't know if I can find that information because there was a video of it. I actually saw it today on like I actually saw this today while I was cruising around Reddit. And when we talk about the marketing, I think there's going to be kind of a bad, how do I say this? Like there's going to be some interesting elements. Oh no, it was on the Movie Circle Jerk subreddit. That's what it was. Sorry. I'm trying to remember where I saw this, this thing at. Hold on. Great. If I could think correctly, maybe it's only this one. Sorry, my brain. I tried finding another piece. You know what it is? I tried doing too much at first. That's my problem. But, no, hold on. It's Movies Circle Jerk. There we go. The 218,000 used subreddit there. I just want to show you guys, there's a video that I saw today. They were talking about Ezra Miller, right? And so we have this image right here. Sorry, I don't mean to distract too much. But then you got this one right here. And this was posted the other day. And I didn't talk about this, but a lot of people were talking about this. And it's just, like, holy hell. What are we looking at here? Right? What exactly are we seeing here? What the hell is going on? And we just don't know. I mean, you look at this and you're like, okay, you got Keaton's Batman. That looks kind of cool. You've got the Flash suit, which is very similar to what we just saw. So we can kind of compare that one there, and then you've got Sasha Calle up here, which, okay, cool. And then obviously this is going to be other Barry, right? This is the Barry that's going to have the old Batman suit that he spray painted red and added a lightning bolt on in order to be the Flash of that world, I guess. And like, I know that is a weird thing, but I just, oh my God, like it's just, oh man, it's so weird. It's just so weird what the hell that is. And hold on. Sorry, I'm trying to find that clip of Ezra doing the Ezra stuff, and I can't find it right away. Son of a bitch. I wish I could, guys. I really wish I could. It is that, the one I'm talking about. You guys ever seen the one I'm talking about where Ezra is like, it's doing the presentation at DC Fandom, and it just looks fucking weird, and you're like, what is going on here? Okay. Yeah, if I could find a longer version of it. I saw a longer version of it today, but okay. I did find like this little clip here. Let me just bring this up here. But anyway, what I'm talking about is just like, this is, or the marketing on this is already pretty weird. Okay, hold on. I'll just bring this up. So then you've got this right here, which you guys, you can you can see this outline here. Like this look here is so weird. It's like, what are you doing, Ezra? Like, what are you doing, bro? You know what I mean? Like, you shouldn't be doing, like, showing up with a choker after you, choked a lady in Iceland, showing up after all this stuff. And you're just like, yeah, this is great. This is great. This is awesome. Let's do this. Why do I keep laughing? I laugh at everything. That's how this works. I don't know if you guys could see that or not. Okay, we got Caden here. What's up, Caden?
What's up?
Not too much. There we go. Now that wants to work. Jesus Christ. I'm trying to I'm trying to run this myself and it's like failing miserably. That's why. That's why it doesn't work. Because if I don't have it up on the screen, there we go. It likes to kind of tweak itself out a little bit. But yeah, like Blessing here says, them with that dog choker. Exactly. It seems like they don't know what they're going to do with this. I mean, have you heard anything, Caden, about the Flash, about what's going on with that?
Other than the fact that, everything is out there pretty much with the Flash movie, and it's just like, even though if it's fake, real or not, whatever, it's all out there. You can go through Flash Film News, you can go to anyone, really, and they'll tell you basically whatever. But there's people who actually will tell you the truth, and people will tell you, falsified information.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the Flash movie, now we've known that, publicly know that it's been testing internally with executives very well and with public people very well. So, I mean, we'll see. I mean, I've said this multiple times, is that people who have seen it, that I know that have seen it, or at least people who I know who have talked to people who've seen it, have always said that the top 3 moments are all with Keaton in it. Even if it isn't like, even if it doesn't have Keaton in it, it has to deal with Keaton.
Yeah.
And then like there was one of them that had like one Keaton moment that was top 3. But yeah, definitely like people who have mentioned like seeing this movie and test screenings have mentioned that their top 3 moments are Keaton related.
So that's not great, to be honest with you.
Yeah,
right? I mean, like that's not great, because like
it's like one of those things where it's like, okay, you want Ezra to be the star, but then when you test it with a public, Keaton becomes the star. Even like with him not even being in the scene, and if it's just a reference, like with Earth 2 or whatever, Earth 89 Barry, having the Keaton suit, that's like people's favorite moment, like him changing that suit into the Flash suit. That's one of people's like top 3 moments. And then the revealing of the Batmobile is people's favorite moments. And then reveal of Keaton, that's like, so like it's Keaton. So it's like, okay, what is really like, and then that's what really, not just like that, like there's like a bunch of like people now without a job. It's now like where like, okay, internally and publicly, a bunch of people love Keaton so much, but then you take away everything that Keaton was in. It's like,
yeah.
Okay, like you clearly aren't listening to the people that you're supposed to be listening to for these screenings. Like they're telling you Keaton's the best part of this movie. Keaton's references are the best part of this movie. Yet you text right off Batgirl and take out his cameo from Aquaman, and then apparently cancel a Keaton Batman movie. That would have been a Batman Beyond. So it's like, why? So what is really going on here? That's my question.
Yeah, I mean, I have no idea what they're planning on doing, but like I was talking about this a bit on Max's channel real quick, but the problem though is that it's hard to kind of get worded as wise with 10 fucking people. The way I see it is like they've got to figure out a way to make this thing work for
Oh yeah.
everybody, right? For the studio, for the actors, for the talent. I mean, everything. Everyone has got to find a way to make it work. There's so much of
Yeah.
a spotlight on this movie, and it
I
is
mean,
like it's the summer film too
yeah,
of
it's
the
the
whole
summer
lineup.
film, and not only that, it's like not only you have the return of Keaton, but you also have the silver screen debut of Sasha Kaye, and as the silver screen, like basically the second silver screen debut of Supergirl. So it's like, and now it's like questioning her like future, you know.
Yeah.
So it's
Well,
like,
that's something that doesn't get talked about very often.
yeah, that's
Is
the thing.
what's
I
going to
think
happen with
like
Sasha Kaye.
I think that's the major concern for me is what is going to happen to Sasha Kaye after the Flash, after the long, like we read that article when she was announced as Supergirl, is that like she beat 200 plus, you know, upcoming actresses for this role. Um, and even like that, like Andy Muschietti was like even looking through 200 plus actresses, like with that casting director and with Hamada and all those other people that were involved in casting this actress. So it's like you've gone through all of that, then you're finally, you know, you do all these other things that like the pre-production process
Yeah.
of, you know, of an actor trying to get into a film, and then you shoot the movie, and then post production, you know, however that is with test screenings and all that, and you're like, you know, you're number two as like what number two or three as like the out breakout star of this movie, um, and then you're questioning if you're even going to be this role again. It's
Well,
like,
I think one of the bigger problem. You're right. You're definitely right. There's a lot riding on this movie, and I think it's. I think a lot of it does kind of boil down to Ezra and the controversy surrounding Ezra.
yeah,
There's a lot of people out there that have their own take. I've been meaning to kind of play this one because it's been making its way around. I think you know the clip I'm talking about. But this, of course, is Mr. John Francis
oh
Campia
yeah.
talking about this. And it's really interesting how he, I think, kind of gets it. Like, I think he's a little wrong, but his delivery is pretty funny.
On the point of view about why it's not something to be worried about, anybody and their three-legged dog knows that you cannot bring back Ezra Miller. You can't bring back Ezra Miller. You are dumb as fuck if you even think for a second about bringing back Ezra Miller. How stupid do you need to be? What kind of morons does David Zaslav have working for him that would even think for a second that you can bring back Ezra Miller? This is one of the most butt-fuck stupid things I have ever heard.
I really expected him to like drop a hard R on that one. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
he was right there. You know,
he was
but
like his delivery is wrong, but
it's
like at the
so
same time, I like one thing I will say is, as I mentioned the DM group and tried to mention on a stream last night or whenever that was, is that like this is random executives that are saying that they want to keep Ezra. This is not James Gunn and Peter Safran and DeLuca and Abdi who are saying this. It's random WB executives who are just saying this out of whim. So that's how we have to take it. You know, it's
well,
not
yeah.
like the
It's just a
people in,
report in Variety
yeah,
or a
it's just
Hollywood
like a
report. Yeah,
small little line in Variety that's saying that some WV executives internally think that they can keep Ezra. But
and
then
that
again, but like the keywords are thinking and WB executives, you know.
yeah,
So
I
it's
think
like,
part of it though is again like I do see a pathway forward for Ezra to stay. I do. As I mentioned this on Max's stream, and I'll reiterate this: James Gunn likes Ezra Miller. I mean, there was that RJ had asked a direct question to James Gunn the other day. James Gunn deflected that answer.
well, he said, I don't know what's going on with Ezra,
He says
but
I don't know what's out there about Ezra. Is
oh
what he
right, I
said.
don't know what's out there. But
And like that's a very diplomatic and political response. It's
yeah,
also very much like a I don't know what's going, and it's a lie. It's a lie.
I mean the
But
thing,
there's nothing
yeah.
wrong with that. He has
Someone
to
said like
maintain.
how like someone quote tweeted it's like, if you're chronically online, how do you not know what's being said about your own studio? It's because he, like, if you look at the timeline, the article came out around 3 PST, and he responded around 5:07 PST, like around that time. That's like 5 o'clock is that time is when people are getting out their offices, you know. So he's out of his office, finally, you know, out of you know, done with the work for that day, and going online and see what's happening. And so, and then yesterday's tweet was, or today, yeah, yesterday's tweet was saying he had a longer day, writing, like he finished 1/3 of a show and finished 2 DC meetings and finished some stuff for Guardians, and which that Guardian stuff is basically what, you know, how he did that whole group scene, like that's basically what he did with Raccoon that day. So it's like he had a whole day of craziness. And
Yeah.
people are like, "Oh, why are you chronically online?" He is not chronically online anymore. If you think like this whole week,
No, he
actually
has
hasn't
off
been.
time. Like he has
Yeah,
off
he is
time.
off
Like,
time, and which is after 5. So
yeah,
it's like after the time that a person would get out the office.
that
So
weird criticism though about like, why are you online? Why aren't you writing
right,
more? And it's like, you do, like, again, these are the kind of people that are trying to push the hashtag, like
yeah,
sell Warner Brothers or sell
or
DC
like
to
push
Netflix or
the whole
whatever.
narrative of Gunn being unreliable for DC or
Yeah.
whatever.
And it's like, it's nonsense is what it is. It's
Yeah, it
absolute
is.
nonsense. But I think what we
Um,
need to take away from all this, again, it's like Ezra Miller themselves is going to be an issue, right? Ezra Miller is going to be a problem.
I mean, we'll
But
see with the Flash when, like, I think again, like they're they're not going to speak. Like again, James Gunn said that they're only announcing a few projects, which is probably like the first year or two of DCU. Um, but again, like I don't think they'll talk about a Flash movie. They won't talk about an Aquaman movie. Um, but everything else they'll talk about. You know, um, Shazam. I mean, they won't even talk about Shazam because Shazam will be further along in the future of the DCU. So honestly, like that's clearly won't be talking about that. But like with the
yeah,
Flash, it's like it's not of the concern of like, oh, if Ezra's going to continue, or if Keaton's going to continue, or
well,
if Michael Shannon's going to continue playing Zod or whatever. My question is, where is Sasha Kaye? You know, that's like the main question for me. You know,
yeah. I mean, because
because
that is a previous regime situation, and
right,
they may
and
want to go
that's
another route. But at the
yeah,
same time, when you've already got these contracts, these deals in place with these actors, and you want to keep them around if they're doing well, if Shazam does well, if it turns a profit, there's no reason to reboot it. If
yeah,
Aquaman, if they want to exit out Jason Momoa, he could see the writing on the wall and be like, look, there's an option. Like, we may not do a third movie, but you have the option now to kind of come back into the fold, and maybe there's another character you want to play.
right.
Cool.
And we all
Let's
know
do
his
it.
fan favorite character that
Exactly.
like is who that is. So it's like if as mentioned multiple times, and every single time there's like talks about who's out and who's in and who's staying, who's rebooting their own who they are in this universe and whatever. Um, like the clear outs were Cavill and Affleck, who and Affleck may stay creatively and
Yeah.
production
Well,
wise, but
right.
ousted as in
We'll have to wait and see because we don't know, and I don't know, and I don't know yet. I do think Ezra has a potentiality of staying. I won't die
I
on that hill, but I think so. I think, as I said, James Gunn. Look at what happened to him 4.5 years ago.
right.
Redemption arcs are his thing. Having the opportunity to do a real life redemption arc on somebody who has had a troubled year,
Mm-hmm.
and once Ezra goes on the apology tour, once Ezra goes and starts like doing the Good Morning America interviews and going around on that stuff,
Right.
once we start getting Ezra's side of the story, like I said over on Max's stream, what was it? The Chase Iron Eyes, Lakata's Gibson's father,
Mm-hmm.
has removed all the tweets about Ezra. There's been no
There's
movement
probably
on
a
that.
settlement.
There's probably an agreement that was made. Yeah,
Yeah.
that would do that. The mom hasn't, but she also hasn't said anything in months.
Right.
So it's
I
like
mean,
clearly
I
that
think with the
situation
whole thing
has worked itself out.
with Gibson, I thought that stuff was like done and done, whatever. Like that was, I felt like that one. I felt like was always going to be like, either whatever happens, the parents will drop it at some point. Um, like even if they win their tribal case at the end, they'll be like, eh, whatever, it doesn't matter at the end, you know. Um, like it was just something that like probably was like in the moment they felt like they need to happen, but they realize now it
Yeah.
didn't.
Well, I mean, it's just we're gonna have to wait and see what they do. I just think that if it's able to work out well, if Gunn is able to like figure out a pathway forward, and Ezra plays by studio rules, Ezra will be fine. Rational here says though, Grace is Grace going to lose her shit if Gunn keeps Ezra? You know what? Here's the thing: is when Bob Iger and Kevin Feige and Alan Horn rehired James Gunn in the fall of 2018, her response to that was like, well, they're never going to be the same again. How can we ever look at them as being a family friendly organization ever again?
Oh my
And then,
god.
and then here she's like completely championing James Gunn and like his work with DC and all
Yeah.
that stuff. So she doesn't really remember what she
Well, the
says.
thing is because remember, James Gunn called her out multiple times,
Yeah.
and has multiple times have recently like kind of made sly comments towards her, like, which was funny. Um, but like, yeah, I think the person who most would like freak out, if anything, like if Gunn like keeps the Suicide Squad characters and keeps, you know, held the JSA, and then and Ezra, and then everyone else gets reboot, and like let's say Sasha Kaye, then and everyone else gets rebooted, then people will be like, okay, like what's up, There will
See,
be that.
yeah, I think some people will be upset. I think most people won't care.
Yeah, people. I
I
mean,
really don't think people are going to give a shit. Like,
yeah, no.
not in the way that like, because we fight about this stuff all the time. So there's obviously that, but the vast majority of people out there, they just want to see good stuff. And if it's good and like,
Right.
in the response to it is good, that's what they're going to focus on. They're not even going to worry
yeah,
about it. They're not going to care about anything else.
Ezra
Um,
is young enough to continue playing. Like, even though like I feel a certain way about their portrayal of Barry and Flash, um, they're 30, and
yeah.
like Barry is like early 30s, late 20s, mid 30s, whatever, So it's like, yeah, if any one of the OG7, uh, Ezra has a more of a chance to continue rather than like Ray, um, Henry, and all those other people.
Well, yeah, I
Um,
mean, well, Ray's out. Like, there's no way.
Ray is
There's like no way Ray's
Ray.
coming back.
No, like that's 100% no. Henry Cavill is a 90% no. It's like, so
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot going. I mean, Henry Cavill's just going to be in a better place, I think, in
yeah,
regards to all that stuff.
I think now there's like a kind of a weight lifted off his shoulders,
Well, yeah, because now, well, if the rumors are true that he ended up firing Danny Garcia back in the summer, that was right around the time that the
that he
Warhammer stuff was
filmed
heating
this.
up.
Yeah.
Right? It's like that's because I think we got to go back and look at like we got to start thinking about whatever Henry was doing in the summer, getting ready to exit The Witcher, letting go of Danny Garcia. This is before all of the Superman stuff happened in like September. What was
Yeah.
happening then is that they were working on a deal with Vertigo and Amazon with Games Workshop.
Now there's like a whole
So
like rumor about him like actually like having a major like play in how Amazon Studios does their video games or something like that.
oh, he's definitely the right guy for that job. Like
Yeah.
I mean, they brought
So
in the star
it's
talent and
it
he's
definitely
got
seems like he's going more towards of an executive position rather than an acting position now. So he's like
he'll do both. He'll
he'll
definitely
still
act.
continue acting, but it seems like he's more taking on more responsibilities
Yeah.
as an actual like producer and executive.
Sure. But then
Um,
after Superman and The Witcher and having those creative differences with the people in charge of that,
yeah,
going into another franchise that he
where he's
vehemently
the creative
loves.
head of all
And
that stuff.
yeah,
And
why would
so
you even go back to
if he
Superman?
has a problem with
Like,
someone creatively, he can fire them. You know,
oh
he
yeah,
doesn't have to leave.
I have a feeling. I agree with you. I think he gave a sigh of relief when James is like, we're going a different direction. He's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah. He was
I
like,
can,
oh,
okay,
wow.
great. I don't got to worry about this. I don't got to spend
Yeah.
6 months,
Yep.
shooting the movie and then another 3 months promoting it. I can go right into the Amazon stuff and right into Warhammer, which is where he wants to
Right.
be, and let him be there. I mean, his deal with Netflix is effectively done. I don't think we're going to get a Sherlock Holmes spinoff from Enola Holmes, which sucks because I like him in the role
Yeah.
quite a bit. I enjoyed Enola Holmes too quite a bit. I don't see them really doing that, but there was, let me see this here. It was a super chat from Ryan. Thank you for $10, buddy. Thank you so much. Saying, I'd like to show you this thing called A Fox in Space. It's basically Star Fox, the animated series, but with a little Cowboy Bebop mixed in. Sure, man. Yeah, we'll watch that towards the end there. Tonight's not going to be that long of a stream because it's like still Friday and I've had a day. But yeah, send that over. We'll take a look. I'm sure. Yep, there we go. as soon as I say that, I go to Discord when Ryan wants to send me something, and I just wait and like literally like he's got it primed and ready to go. But no, I appreciate that, Ryan. Thank you. We'll move on. A couple other things to kind of get to here tonight. One of the bigger ones is that Avatar has now apparently become so profitable that the sequels are guaranteed. James Cameron says Avatar 2 is profitable and he'll make the sequels, as if that was ever in any question.
Yeah, I think him saying this is like, no duh. It's like, no duh, bro. Like,
I think
you were going to make these regardless if Avatar 2 was profitable, to be honest. Like, I feel like that was like, if it was like 0.1 million off from being profitable, they'd have been like, you can still make them. Like,
well, I mean, profitability in the box office then just means that the home video sales are going to be massive.
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm not even worried. Like when it hits PVOD, it's going to be big. The 4K release is going to sell like hot. Like that's going to be one where you see the 4K selling really above everything else.
They shot like the first 30 minutes of 4. Like,
I'm sure they've already shot more in the meantime.
Yeah.
Like he's talked about that before the movie came out. It's like, yeah, we did about, a third of the way through. He said a third, not 30 minutes, but a third of Avatar 4.
Yeah.
But they've also, if everything's done mocap, he didn't specify what it was. Was it the mocap stuff or was it the human stuff? Because he shot the mocap in
didn't he say like
LA.
middle, like that 4, like kind of transitions, which from like Pandora to Earth.
Yeah. So number 5, he said Natiri is going to go to Earth. And so number 5 is going to be a beast of a movie to film because now you're going to be leaving. Well, I mean, you'll have the motion capture, you'll have the soundstage. I don't think he's going to shoot a lot that's going to be outdoors.
Right.
But when you're watching The Way of Water, when it's outside and you're following the whalers, and that's all, that looks like it's like it was shot outside. It might have been what they shot outside in New Zealand because they shot the live action stuff down there. And so, I mean, there's going to be a lot going on with that, and it's going to be pretty damn amazing when they do it. But going on here, the director was on this week's episode of HBO Max's Who's Talking to Chris Wallace. That's kind of funny that he went to Chris Wallace. But it pointed out that his mega budgeted sequel has crossed $1.5 billion at the global box office, surpassing Top Gun Maverick, which I found that competition to be kind of funny, but still. He says here, it looks like just with the momentum that the film has now, that it will easily pass or break even in the next few days. So it looks like I can't wiggle out of this. I'm going to have to do these sequels. I know what I'm going to be doing for the next 6 or 7 years. The point is we're going to be okay. I'm sure that we'll have a discussion soon with the folks at Disney about the game plan going forward for Avatar 3, which is already in the can. We've already captured and photographed the whole film, so we're in extended post-production to do all the CG magic. And then Avatar 4 and 5 are both written, and we even have some of 4 in the can. We've begun a franchise at this point. We've begun a saga that can now play out over multiple films. And again,
I wonder, since he says franchise, is there a possibility of a spinoff? or 2?
Well, so he's talked about that, and he has said that like he doesn't like. There was a question. I think it was Brandon Davis actually asked him about the potentiality of doing Avatar on Disney Plus.
Right.
And
Yeah.
he's like, and he goes like, he's just, you can't, he's like the workflow, because he made sure to mention how much work Weta has done,
Yeah.
right? He made sure to really prop up Weta for the work that they've done. And he's like, look, I love ILM, but Weta is doing something entirely different, you know? And so that's a big factor. Like Weta is doing something entirely different.
Right.
And they're really showing you like the performances, and you get to see the results of, you know, like the actors actually perform rather than like ILM and the spectacle. I mean, clearly there's spectacle with Avatar, but there's, you know, yeah. So he's
mean,
talking
like-
about, yeah.
Like, I wonder if, like, since, you know, like, so much goes into just one movie, I wonder, like, I mean, it'll be the same as, you know, the same production process for a series, so, like, for a Disney Plus series.
Well,
So
he
I
said,
imagine that they wouldn't do mocap or performance capture or whatever, and
well,
do
you'd have to.
animated.
I mean, if you delineate on the quality, people are going to know.
I mean,
You know what,
you
you know what I
say
mean? Like,
animated, like, as in just, like, do animated so you don't have to worry about
that's even that, like you could do an animated Avatar, but I don't think James Cameron, he's like, if the world
Yeah.
persists, like because he said like about the persistent world, he goes, if the
Right.
world like becomes persistent, then maybe we can talk about that. But he's like, we won't even have the ability to do that kind of workflow for television for the
For a
next
while.
5 years. He's like,
Yeah.
he said about 5 years, and he's usually pretty on the money with those
Yeah.
kind of predictions and everything else. I think
Unless
like,
someone is able to speed it up.
well,
somehow.
with the collective power of AI and deep fake technology and everything else, yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
like they're getting
I mean,
ready. Like, dude,
AI has
no,
just
chat. I use the chat GTP, right? I use that quite a
Yeah.
bit, and it's a lot of fun. And I was reading last night as I was finishing a Podio commentary and waiting for it to export. I'm reading this article, and it says now OpenAI has a $29 billion stock valuation.
wow.
Right. And you're just like, and that's blown up in the last month. They're already talking about Chat GTP 4 and like DALL-E 3 for AI art generation. Hell, even on Stephen Colbert, they were making fun of this whole situation with the House Speaker this week. And they went and they said, okay, well, every time you become a House Speaker, there's an oil painting made of you. And they go, oh, but we did that. We had one made of Kevin McCarthy. And they open it up, they unveil it, and it's like, he's like, oh, we had an AI artist do it. We had AI art make this. And they fucking used Midjourney. Right? And I've shown off some of the Midjourney stuff here. And it looks really good. Like if you can
Right.
prompt it well enough and play with it well enough, it's like, and that's evolving, rapidly evolving.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean,
and like you sent me that thing too
Yeah.
in the and I haven't had the chance to look at it. I was
I was
going
just
to
looking at it just now too.
yeah.
And I'm like, okay, it's still a huge step into the AI realm and film, but it's not as big as I thought it was. I thought it was gonna be something like how you showed me that short film that was created by an AI. I thought it was gonna be something similar to that, but it's kind of something similar to that, but rather it's about using AI to edit your films.
See,
or
and that's
to-
and that is the next phase, right? That is actually
Right.
the next phase here. So here, I'll bring this up here. This is the festival. I don't know if it's on screen or not. I gotta
Yeah,
find the
it
tab.
is.
Okay. I have like two windows open and I get lost because they're on the same thing. Also, a command unit. I did see your super chat. We'll watch that at the end as well. So this AI film festival is introducing the first annual AI film festival powered by Runway. It's a celebration of the art and artists making the impossible at the forefront of AI filmmaking. All films will be reviewed by our panel of globally renowned filmmakers, creators, and AI innovators. Finalists will be showcased with the screening at one of New York's most beloved emerging film spaces and will be eligible for 10 grand in prizes. Like, did they show any of the
If you
idea
scroll
of,
down, there's like, yeah,
okay, so what
Well,
we're looking for are films between 1 to 10 minutes that demonstrate various AI techniques. The core component of the film must include generative content. This content can be either visual or audio in nature. All right, so okay, so it must be 10 minutes. Must feature AI generated content. Films must be submitted. Okay, and this is some of the stuff here. I mean, we've got anyone here I recognize?
yeah, that's what I'm like. Oh.
Not really, but it's okay,
No.
whatever. Okay, so public submissions close in like 9 days.
Yeah.
But okay, do they have like? It'd be really cool if they showed off some of the an idea of what they're working with here.
Right.
But this is kind of it. What we can see up here is just like using the different techniques and things
That
like
was
that.
like using AR art right there.
Oh, a
That's
lot of
what's-
this is just going to be done with like CapCut and fucking phones
Yeah.
because you can do a lot of this shit now.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
With all that, and then have it like auto generate or something along those lines. I mean, like, there could be, I could imagine somebody doing something like Murdoch with using AI, which don't look up Murdoch. That is exceptionally racist. But this is where things are going.
Yeah.
The AI stuff. And I know it's freaky for a lot of people. Command unit here. Wow. For 5. Thank you. Sorry to spoil the mood. Just had to mention that the news that a 6-year-old shot his teacher in Virginia. America is wild.
What?
I mean, we're 1 week into the fucking year, guys.
Jeez.
Jesus Christ.
Like, oh my.
That's pretty creepy. That's pretty creepy on that. Well, I mean, like, did the teacher live or die? I mean, that's kind of, I don't know. But thank you for that one. I mean, like, there is like there was the guy who drove the Tesla off the cliff the other day.
Yeah.
And
I saw
everyone
that.
survived, and now he's being charged with attempted murder and child endangerment. But it's
Yeah.
like he drove off a cliff in a Tesla, and everybody survived. There's probably been, you think about it like this, right? There's probably no greater marketing for Tesla right now than that, because there's been all of those reports about how the self-driving cars, like,
Yeah.
can't differentiate between like a person and a cat or whatever, and like, people are like, you watch
There
all
was
this.
an whole article saying that like that that Tesla's self-driving cars are miles away from the actual like advanced self-driving car.
Yeah.
Which is interesting on that part, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay. So here's a little bit of what Runway is. I think they want you to use Runway for the AI thing real quick.
Oh.
So everything you need to make your content fast. Magical AI tools, real-time collaboration, precision editing, and more. Your next generation content creation suite. So, okay. So
Interesting.
this is this is using Open AI and DALL-E and whatever, right?
Yeah.
But it's like, you can hold your stuff if you want. Oh, wow. That can't be it. What the fuck? That's okay. That's pretty
That's
nuts right there.
That is like you can design like home design a whole.
Now, look, this is just a demo. So there's clearly going to be limits
Right.
on this kind of stuff. What else do they got here? Like you can remove background. Okay. You can do text to image generation. That's like DALL-E 2. Erase and replace, text to 3D texture. You can clean audio, remove background noise with Runway. That's cool. Generate transcript. I don't know what the fuck that is. Motion tracking. Wow. So this is a lot of, what's the pricing on that? I always look at the pricing. So you can get free and get 720p video exports, 3 projects, 5 gig assets, 25 free image generation. So that uses Midjourney, by the way. You can tell.
And then the Pro is 4K. Then.
All right. So 144 a year, billed annually, 500 gig assets, 125 image generations per month. That's not actually terrible. I think Midjourney's like $30 a month and you get 200 rolls.
Yeah.
So, the thing is though, when they say 125 free image generations, that's like your rolls. So it's definitely an interesting thing there. And then, this is where we're going. If you look at, like, I was looking at a thing tonight, and I'm going to play with it a little later, where you can like have a script, put a script into an AI prompt, and it will generate like a PowerPoint presentation based upon your script. And I'm like, that's fucking fascinating. You know, like, and there's all these outlets now that you can go in there and you can like take your script and drop it in, and it will auto generate video based upon it will put together a timeline based upon what you prompt it with using stock footage or whatever. And I'm like, you know what, man, like the biggest thing for me in doing the true crime stuff was like how long it would take for me to like edit these TikToks. Because I'm using stock footage. So I'm like going through finding the stock footage I need and dropping it in. And it takes time, but it's like, I'm just saying if I could write it, record it, drop it into this AI thing, and it finds me what I need, just enough to convey the idea of what I'm trying to say, that changes the fucking game.
Right.
You know, and like, but there's a lot of lazy motherfuckers with this shit too. It's a good tool. There's a lot of interesting stuff there, but it's not perfect.
There is a artist who I see on Twitter who use AI art a lot, and then like he uses it and then like cleans it up a little bit and then posts it, and like I'm like, I can tell that's AI art and cleaned up just a little bit.
Yeah, you can tell. And it's not like it's difficult to tell, but it's also like
it's not difficult. And then people like praise him, like, "Oh my god, this is so good! You did so good." I'm like, all he did was clean up some of the hands and edges on this thing. That's all he did.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's AI art. You can tell. Like,
and I think as long as you approach AI from the perspective as entertainment purposes only, you know what I mean? Like, and you don't try to like the people that are like that try to like. And again, you can find YouTube video after YouTube video about this shit, about like, oh, you can sell it. It's totally fine. It's like, I don't know if that's totally fine or not, to be honest with you.
Like that, because I think also it's the same thing with like, okay, like it's not you doing the art and you're selling it as your own. Because if it's like, if I like had people like make me a mac and cheese, but I'm selling it as Cadence mac and cheese, even though I had no input on anything of it. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, like
it's not mine. Why?
But then again, I mean, everyone thinks Elon Musk invented Tesla, but he just bought in and then ousted the CEO, right?
Yeah.
That's capitalism, Caden. Like what you're talking about is capitalism. Like remember ShamWow?
Yeah.
You remember ShamWow? Vince from ShamWow. He trademarked ShamWow. He was the spokesperson, made a very interesting and unique trailer or commercial for it, infomercial for it, kind of became part of the cultural zeitgeist at the time for whatever reason, but it was the exact same chamois that was being sold like for $1 at the Dollar Tree. All they did is put the branding on it. You know, if you go to the Dollar Tree or you can find these items that are like identical, like the generic brand, but they're identical to the other stuff. But we have this thing with branding and it's like, that's how we view it. So it's like, that's what a lot of this is. So it's just kind of putting on another brand on something that's already been made, but it being tweaked a little bit.
And the thing is, it's like some people say like, oh, like that's just business. No, but it's like, it's dirty though.
Oh, it's definitely dirty. But like, if you look what I have on the screen right here, I was just looking through Midjourney real quick. And this prompt is just Joker walking away from explosion, except the prompt is him walking towards the explosion. Right. Oh. Right. But you see this one here, even like the one on the top left adds the bat symbol. The one here on the top right has the outfit, from
Nicholson and Ledger.
Yeah, it's got, it's I like the one on the bottom right, by the way. That looks pretty fucking cool.
That looks like an actual like a focus on Joker and an explosion rather than the city.
Yeah, exactly.
While the other ones are focusing on the city and the Joker and the explosion. The bottom one is great. I like that one.
You get some interesting stuff there. Then I'll bring up this other one here as well. The prompt for this one is, what is this one? Symbol for a character named Super Pig, and was asking for a logo, concept art. I'm bringing it up right now. Yeah. So this is Super Pig, right? And it's just like, this is the prompt, and he can tweak it as he goes on and stuff. But like, dude, look at this one down here on the bottom right. Like,
that looks awesome.
Fucking wicked, man. And as soon as they're able to figure out how how to make this stuff animated and how they're
Well,
able
I'm
to
sure
use
they,
After Effects and really get, because the thing with After Effects is that shit's like way too fucking resource
yeah,
heavy, you know? And a lot of times, like I've played with After Effects before. I know there's Blender. It's a little easier. Now you've got, what is it? The Unreal Engine 5 is free and you can easily import that stuff into Blender. And there's like DaVinci Resolve, which is a free editor. There's a lot of other
mhm,
things that are coming down the pipeline. But as soon as people are able to take this and tell it, animate this to the point of where you can make it move where you want it to move, like maybe you can tell it, generate the assets that I can import into Unreal 5. Now,
right.
all of a sudden, you're able to, use AI to generate these assets that can then be imported into UE5. You then tweak it, you make your own animation on there. And I've watched videos on UE5 where people have gone and just flat out like it just looks amazing. Like you would not think that this was done like in a couple hours on someone's like home computer. Let's see. Brandon here says, I use Toon Boom in video editing with my work. What is Toon Boom? And I agree. We need a Super Pig movie. Fuck yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely. All right. Like it is awesome art. It's crazy, but this like Brandon here is like, this art is stunning. It's just, this is the shit that people just randomly post in this one Discord I'm in. And they just find things like that. Like, okay. Okay. Here. I'll bring up this one here for people out there who like cars. This one is just a prompt, not perfect, but it gives you an idea of, this is a BMW, in the style of Blade Runner 2049. And this is what the prompt came up with. Like that just looks like the fucking Batmobile.
yeah,
Like there's some shit there. And this is again all just randomly, and you can clean it up too. This was just the first run through, I
like
think.
what's would be cool. I mean, like because like I said, some artists would just take this and like take out the, let's say they'll take out the headlights and just post it, and
Yeah.
then say it's theirs. But what would be even cooler is if someone would take this and actually try to recreate it on their own, you know?
Yeah, as like a template.
Yeah, as a template, and like add your own artistic liberties to it to make it your own, but still like take it as a template and use it and make it your own, and that's what you can post and use, because it's like it's just being lazy and like there's no like creative juices coming through you
Yeah. But
to
like
create
look at
something
this
like
one.
that.
Like
That's
this
cool.
one here, the prompt is simply boy and girl cartoon character for kid book.
Mm,
And that's all they gave it, and that is what it came up with. You know what I mean? And I'm just saying, like, that if you could find a way to have it save this artwork and pose these characters in different ways and write different settings, you could realistically come up with with a children's book with excellent art, AI art, and then sell that shit, and you'd make a fuckload of money doing it. Like that's
yeah.
what I'm talking about here, is like, this is where it's going. And then the last thing I wanted to say on this, because we're talking about video game stuff, like this is, let me get it up here, on screen. There won't be any sound, but there will be. So this is Skyrim, in Unreal Engine 5. Get that out. All right, like so this is Skyrim. Can you guys see it?
Yeah.
Okay, so like look at this. This is Skyrim recreated in UE5.
Oh wow. I'm just in love with UE5.
Oh, me too. I watched a lot of. I'm terrible with animation. I know nothing about any of that kind of stuff. But what I'm talking about here is like when you start looking at it through the lens of what the next level of cinematography is going to be, the next level of VFX, what we're going to be getting.
Yeah. I
We're
mean,
going to be
Volume
getting.
was already in the step of that direction.
Yeah. Oh, do you know what I
Like
found out about the volume? Do you know where the tech for that originated?
Epic Games.
Oblivion.
Yeah, Epic Games and Oblivion. were the two people that created it with Jon Favreau.
Yeah, well, I mean, well, Oblivion, the movie,
Oh,
they used like 500-inch LED screens and
wow.
constructed for the skybox around the home office set in the
Oh,
movie.
wow.
It was a precursor, like by 6 years, or about 6-7 years to that. But anyway, I'm just saying it's like, yeah, okay. So imagine like having these kind of visuals, created in UE5 that can be then put into the volume, right? You can
Right.
make it look realistic enough. Like let's say for example in Oblivion, if you go back and watch it again, and it's on my mind because I did the Podio commentary, but when you go and you look at the skybox sequence when they're inside the office and you see like they're above the clouds and everything else, that is footage that was shot from the top of a mountain in Hawaii for like 3 weeks
Oh, wow.
in order to get the different weather conditions, sunrise, sunset, whatever they need. And they were,
Yeah.
and the thing is like Tom Cruise was like super impressed with it. Everyone was super impressed with it because of the way that they were able to make it work and how it worked so seamlessly and the end product. It was a bit of a hassle getting it done. There was like times where the monitors would fizzle out. So all of a sudden, like you'd have the wall and then there would be one that was all like, a debug kit would pop up or whatever. That's all I'm trying to say. But there's so much that goes on with this stuff these days that you could easily take it and you could easily figure out to like, let's see, is there one on,
Did you see? I wasn't sure if this was if that's a newer concept that just came out, but the Superman thing, is that the newer one that came out,
yeah.
or was that the
Um,
one from like a year ago?
no, there was a new one here. I saw it the other day where he goes to like the moon and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, let me see. Because this one's interesting as well. Not that I need UE5. All right, this is okay. So this is the one that just popped up the other day.
Okay, so
I did watch this. Let me just get the quality up because I can't go to 4K on here. Unfortunately, StreamYard does not support 4K. But you get this look and it's like, this is what somebody had. I think for this, they used the Matrix assets. Because I know,
yeah.
because I know for the other one that they did, that they used the Matrix, you can actually find a bunch of mini games that were made using the that tech demo that the Matrix Resurrections put out.
Yeah.
That ended up kind of serving as like a template for everything. It was really interesting. But this is just, I mean, like this is something they could do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not perfect. You can definitely see there's like a lot of,
there's some.
Well, it's also is when he goes up to the moon, right? Like it's just
Yeah.
like also this not the best image of Superman, but he does have the Cavill suit and the shoulders are way too big. But that's just me being nitpicky. All right, so he comes up here, he flies up, right, and then he's like, "I'm just gonna exit the atmosphere," and like that's pretty cool. But then he goes out in this space set just looks bad, like the star mapping.
Yeah.
It's like, okay. But I mean, but again, like it does kind of have that same single light source from the sun. And and that does look a lot like Man of Steel when he goes up at the end. And of course, this is a beautiful shot regardless.
That's great.
And I like the out of range for the mini map. And then just like, all right, cool. He's going to head over here to the sun or to the moon. And I'm like thinking, oh my God, is this going to be like No Man's Sky where they just can cruise right up and land? But unfortunately it's not quite there yet because it's still just a tech demo.
Right.
But then like, here he is just like, I'm just going to land on the moon. And what's really funny about that is like the cape moves when there's no atmosphere.
Yeah.
So it's just, but that looks amazing.
That was cool. Like when he lands the camera, but yeah, it's definitely some like work needs to be done with some stuff.
Yeah. Oh no, 100%. All this shit's just a tech demo, but like, look where
Yeah.
we are. And when
Even
we talk,
with the tech demo, it looks great.
yeah, I mean, when we're talking about like, Avatar, the success of Avatar and everything else, and we go and we're looking at the future of all this kind of stuff, like, yeah, Weta will always be like the
Oh,
be all end all of it because like, or Weta and ILM and those guys who do it, but we're going to see these smaller companies like Blur Studios, kind of came out and they're pretty good at their visual effects. And there's a bunch of other smaller effects houses that help out these bigger movies. But look at what like Ang Lee did with Life of Pi. That was 2015.
yeah.
You
Life
know?
of Pi, like the thing is that Life of Pi and Avatar were like game changers of like
Yeah.
what they did.
So here's Bully remade in UE5,
Oh wow.
which this pains me to watch because I've always wanted a sequel to Bully. It's have you ever played it? Such a fun game. Such a fun game. But I mean, like, look at this. Look at the reflections. Look at the, like, it's not perfect. The balls have some issues, but they got the physics and stuff.
Like there's still some like structure with other things other than buildings.
Yeah, but I mean, just I mean, like the eyes actually have emotion in the eyes there, the intensity, the character designs, everything else. I mean, like this again, people are going to be like, it looks like Elon Musk. It's going to be, but it's just like, look at that shit. Like someone made this from home. It's not great, but it's like, you can start seeing like where this stuff is going to go is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And to me, that is like, that's why I'm very fascinated about the future. And I know a lot of other people out there may not be. They may find this to be a little crazier. Companion for 5, thank you, buddy. Says, I've been playing with Arma Reforger. It's also on consoles, and it's brand new Infusion engine. And honestly, it's amazing. The best thing is the physics. I mean, if you can do the physics stuff, that's the thing. If the physics are pretty great. Yeah. Okay. Send me the, Rational. Send me the Unreal Train Engine thing. Commander here for another 5. Thank you, buddy. Says, I'm not a big fan of Snyder, but I think his style would fit 40K decently. The entire Justice League crew would fit well in Cavill's WCU. I mean, look, actually, I'll tell you this. When Zach's done working over at fucking Netflix, right? And he needs something to do, I could see Henry Cavill going to his boy Zach and getting, if Zach did Warhammer for Amazon, fuck, dude, fuck, holy shit, that would be amazing. That would be great. Like,
who else would be able to,
who else would be able to direct like a Warhammer thing well?
Yeah.
I think Nolan could, to be honest with you.
Nolan could.
I think Nolan could, but he wouldn't because it's not his original property and he's not going to do franchises anymore. I think
unless someone changes his mind, but no.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at like different types of like who could handle, Ridley Scott would do really well in a Warhammer universe.
Well. Yeah.
I mean, imagine something like fucking Gladiator, which we'll talk, and that's a transition point. We'll talk about Gladiator here in a little bit. But like, you've got like, or Black Hawk Down. Like, I didn't realize this until today that Gladiator came out in the summer of 2000, and Black Hawk Down was in like the fall of 2001.
Right.
He shot those movies back to back. Like, holy shit, Ridley Scott's a fucking machine. But Black Hawk Down is such a good movie. It's so intense. It's so in your face. It's so, I mean, he could do a Warhammer, but he might also then be a little bit on the too old side.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not
Neil Blomkamp.
Blomkamp would be really good.
Yeah.
For the side of that, that's what's the word I want to use here? Like the visuals.
Visuals.
Who else could do that? That would be, there's like, who can handle like the technicals? Like, who does a war movie really well? Like, Sam Mendes, I think, after doing 1917, could tackle something like that, then make it more of an emotional story contained within the battle. But like looking at even like, I think like looking at how Doug Liman handled Edge of Tomorrow, which is my favorite Tom Cruise movie.
I was about to say, I was like, Edge of Tomorrow would be a good like reference as well.
No, I definitely agree. I think that'd be a lot of fun to check that out. If they were able to, there's a lot of directors they could pull from. And there's also new directors that they could pull from as well that I think would also be pretty good. Here. So let me bring this up here. Have you ever seen this one? I had it up. I didn't realize I had it up. This is the Unreal 5 train demo.
Oh, I think, I've seen this one.
I mean, this tricked people. This legitimately tricked people.
It looks real. This one, like, out of all the other ones, that one looked the realest.
It's kind of creepy to watch without sound because, like, I feel like I'm looking at somebody filming through their phone at an abandoned train station, and like I feel like someone's watching them.
Some sort of jump scare.
Yeah. Right, like in the windows in the top up there, like it's all dark and you can't see, or like they heard something, so they're just kind of making their way through. I mean, you could easily turn this into something that would be fucking frightening. Add nice sound design to it, and you would scare the piss out of. You could put this in theaters.
Like, imagine, like making like something like Five Nights at Freddy's, like with this type of style of Unreal.
Yeah.
Like making it.
I mean, look at that right there, like where it just, and you're like, oh, because it looks legit. Like there's a slight mist in the air, and it reflects off of the lighting. Because when I lived in Portland, public transportation is everything. So a lot of like I just remember kind of hanging out at
even
train stations. Oh yeah. If you're doing the blue line and you're south of the 10, gets a little bit creepy down there. A little bit nuts, a little bit creepy. I've done that down to Watts before. So I know what that's like. But I mean, this is what people are working on. I feel like
a jump scare is about to happen.
Yeah.
Like right now.
Yeah. Like I want to know, as weird as this is, like I've seen this before, but as I'm watching it right now, I want to know the lore of why that person is there. I want to know what drew them to this specific train station. Why is it abandoned? And what are they afraid of?
Right.
Because like that's essentially what's going on here. Is you can
feel the tension.
Yeah, there's fucking tension on this.
There's tension, suspension, but you just but nothing happens. That's the thing. Like nothing ever happens, but you feel it, and it's like amazing, honestly.
Yeah, running on Unreal Engine 5 using Lumen, no nanite.
Oh wow.
So it's like, I mean, you can just make it work like that, and you've got yourself in a position where all of a sudden you're like, this is some crazy ass shit. Yeah. It's just like, I don't know, that's kind of fucking
amazing.
It's crazy. There's a lot of craziness out there, guys, and this is just kind of the future of where things are. Let's see here. Somebody created Tom Cruise in UE5. What?
That's crazy.
Okay. Send me a video of that. We'll check that out real quick here. The cool guy says Final Fantasy Spirits Within Eat Your Heart Out. Oh man. Okay, so I bought that on 4K last year because I do love that goddamn movie. I know it's not the greatest thing ever, but I love that goddamn movie. And so I was rewatching it and it felt like I was watching an FMV from back in the day, and it felt like that. And I'm just like, oh my God, it's just, you can totally see how different it is compared to now. But at the same time, I still appreciate the aesthetic that they were able to make with that. I know it ended up killing the franchise or killing the entire fucking studio, but still, it's fascinating. Okay, so this one here is Japan on UE5 cinematic scene. All right, so let's see what this one is because I haven't seen this yet. Meshmond, all right. Oh wow.
That looks great.
Yeah. A little bit more contrast. Oh, Jesus Christ. I mean, you can tell it's animated, but like a little bit more contrast.
It's like an animated version of what we just saw.
Yeah.
That part looked real.
That part looks real, yeah.
Yeah.
That looks pretty. It actually looks pretty real. That looks wow.
Yeah, more real now.
Yeah, I mean, you can tell a little bit, but it's not like
it's improving along the way.
Yeah. But I mean, Jesus Christ.
Wow.
I mean, realistic light movement on there with the lanterns and stuff.
Wow.
Well, the lanterns actually they look a little fake, actually.
Yeah, the lanterns are the only thing that's like kind of throwing it off a little
but
bit.
then because they're kind of moving all in the same pattern, just somewhat independently.
Yeah.
But I'm sure again with a mod or with a patch or whatever, they'd look more realistic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can tell like the chairs, the assets right there were kind of a little. I mean, you can tell it's animated, but it still looks really, really good. Jesus. Okay, that because the further back it looks more realistic.
Yeah, the further it is away, like the closer you are to it, it's like, okay, yeah, whatever. But the further, like this can be like a lock screen or like a home screen or whatever.
Well, imagine you're doing a movie where you have a character in the volume and they're
Right.
walking through a town or
Just
something like that, and you have it projected behind them. It will
Right.
look real enough it will fool the mind's eye. The problem with what they're done with the Mandalorian and even Boba Fett and elements of like even Guardian or what was it, the Thor Love and Thunder, was that like they shot it on these like landscapes. And they didn't really, it felt kind of fake. Like, at
Well,
times.
I think the problem with Mando season 2B and Book of Boba Fett was the fact that they weren't going creative with the volume anymore. And what I liked about Mando season 1 and season 2A was the creativity with the volume.
Well, yeah. Well, okay, 2A, I would agree with you. When you say 2B, are you talking like the last batch of episodes?
Yeah.
Okay. I would agree with you on that one. I would also say that like, because in the episode when I think it was episode 4, when they meet Bo-Katan, and
Yeah.
at the
I
end
think
of it,
that
when
episode was really good with the
yeah, well,
volume.
Bryce Dallas Howard, her directing on that episode really sold it. So, by all means, can we just give her a movie or something?
A movie, series, whatever, just give her something at least. Goddamn. Like it's been like too long.
Yeah. Okay. Rational here says he also DM'd me a Scarlett Johansson one. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. He sent me a couple of these here. These are, what the fuck? Hold on. Let me just get this copied over here. I mean, okay. Okay. So this one here, based on what I can see as I prep it, let's get the 1080p. Okay. It doesn't, I mean, like it's all right. This is Tom Cruise in UE5. This is at the high resolution, but it,
I mean, front facing, yes, but when you're on the side, no.
Yeah, that didn't help out.
No.
That looks a bit more like it. I mean, the eyes.
If you're just facing the front of this, then it's like, okay, yeah. But like when you go to the side and start moving it, it's, okay.
That's better. Yeah, adding the contrast and the dynamic lighting.
Yeah.
No, that doesn't.
No.
Doesn't.
Okay, whatever.
I mean, did you ever see the Bruce Willis deep fake that they did of him?
I still haven't seen that.
It doesn't look good. It doesn't look good. Like it just looks. It's for Russia, something in Russia, but it's like. That's okay. So there's this one, and then he had also sent me. Let me. You know what? I can just hold on. Let me just get that up so I don't need to bring up his DM on screen. But then he also sent me a Scarlett Johansson one. Apparently. So, and that one, that's a little bit weird. But I mean, it's like, remember when Spider-Man No Way Home was coming out and you had the whole thing there about like, it's a deep fake, and they put out the video showing that it was a deep fake.
Yeah.
Right. And like how that was done as a misdirect. Like, I don't even know who did that. Like, was that just some fan?
It was just some person who was trying to have their 15 minutes of fame or whatever.
But they made it look really convincing. So, I mean, it was fascinating. Like that whole thing was great. We need more of that, to be honest with you, where it's like we're trying to debunk leaks by trying to prove that they're fake by having someone prove that they made it and that's a
Right.
fake. That's beautiful shit there. All right, so this is real-time facial capture with UE5, MetaHuman, and Deepfake. Is this a Scarlet? Oh, yeah, there we go.
No. That
She-
looks like she's
She's drunk.
yeah. I was like,
That's her I just married Colin Jost face.
oh,
No,
That's
I like
a
Colin
bad
Jost,
sad face.
actually.
oh God.
I mean, yeah, you know it's not her, but if she's looking right at you, it could fool.
Yeah.
Could fool some people. But it's clearly she has
Oh,
the
wow.
features. Yeah, they're putting the because it's an Asian woman,
Right.
and you can tell that at times, because look at the nose. Her nose
Yeah.
points down and Scarlett's points up, and it's definitely not perfect. But I mean, again, that's just where, like, as Disney starts to adopt this technology, the key is to watch Disney start buying this shit up. You know, like, not that I think they're going to buy like an AI thing or whatever, but I do feel like they're going to do something at ILM that is going to create their own version of the UE5, but for the volume, you know, and
Yeah.
they've talked about things like that. Wait, what is this?
I
Real time?
believe they have.
Oh, this is just the thing there. I want to find the Skyrim winter one. Did you ever see the Skyrim winter one? I'll show you this last one. Ah, fuck! I hit the mic. Skyrim winter.
It's like we're just going down this rabbit
Well,
hole.
it's. I mean, there's not a lot going on otherwise, but it's just the only thing I want to talk about is Gladiator thing, really. So check this out. This is. Can you see this? Can you guys see this?
Yes.
Okay, so this is Dawnstar and Skyrim as remade in UE5. Like,
Wow.
I'm just saying, the shit, you know, like, imagine playing like Elder Scrolls 6 with this kind of graphics. I mean, I don't know what the fuck Todd Howard's gonna do at Bethesda. Definitely not this, but the mods will get it there. You know, and right now a lot of games are being kind of remastered in UE5 or other dynamic enough engines that can handle this kind of crap for what's going forward. It's crazy. I mean, like, this is just absolutely wild stuff. And then and this is someone did on their computer. In the next couple of years, people might be able to do this on their smartphone. You know, TikTok will have an app for it or whatever. So anyway, I just wanted to show you that real quick, because that's pretty crazy. What's this one over here? This is, oh yeah, look at that. The Aurora Borealis. It's pretty cool. And you've got just kind of trotting around. It's just the stuff that they're able
This is
to.
really cool.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. What's it got? 861,000. I saw this on TikTok. That's why I went to go look it up on YouTube. Because I saw them put it in a TikTok video. I was like, holy shit. That's
I
wild.
mean, yeah, that's crazy.
So Starfield is going to be your I'm hoping it's good. And I know, I understand that this isn't necessarily like the movie talk stuff you guys are all into, but this is important for what's coming down the pipeline.
It is important for. I mean,
It is.
like, because again, as we mentioned with the Chinatown, you know, one that, like, so you can legit put that on a volume and have, you know, it just be like as a walk by, and just be like, okay, yeah, and then people will be like, oh, he walked by in some place in, you know, in China or whatever, or Korea, whatever you want to place it in, and think it's real, but then find out it's volume and Unreal.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, like, wow.
That's kind of what I think is the most interesting factor about it is when you look at this, you go, okay, great. This is what, you know, we're going to be, this is what we're going to be seeing in the future. It's just like, and it's now, but then they're going to be implementing it. Like, the stuff that's already available now to the general consumer is not out there for, you know, the other people. We'll get to that eventually, but like, for right now, it's like this stuff is, and there's great little short films I've seen with UE5 on YouTube and stuff, and people can use that as a way to get noticed and then get job. Look at Shamook. He fixed the deep fake stuff for Mando season 2, and then they brought him in and they made sure to use him in Book of Boba Fett, which I felt was kind of unnecessary, but it looked
I feel like
light years better.
yeah, but I feel like they should have used Max again for that scene or those scenes, which they didn't, but whatever.
Oh, the actor.
Yeah, the actor.
Okay, I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
but I mean, at the same time, it's like,
it
just
doesn't
imagine
really
how it's
matter.
going to look when we see him in season 3 of Mando, because we're going to see him in
Right.
season 3 of Mando.
Oh,
Or he's going to be in
That's-
Ahsoka. Luke
or
Skywalker's going to be in Ahsoka.
He's gonna be in
Yeah.
Ahsoka. They're gonna show how they met.
Yeah, they're going to
Like-
probably going to show us all that kind of stuff. But all right, here. So finally, there's other stuff to talk about, but we've been on for a while and everything. We did find out today that Paul Mescal will be Lucius, the son of Lucilla, in Ridley Scott's Gladiator 2. Follows him during events that take place many years after the first film's ending. So, I mean, this,
after Son, which is Paul's, like big movie that he was just in. I mean, I believe it was like earlier this week. Puck really, Matthew Bellini released an article saying like this is like what's gonna be the hot for the next 3 months, for Hollywood, and it was like Gladiator 2, Fantastic Four, Pirates of the Caribbean, and something else that I can't remember. But like those are like the hot properties that that will be coming up in the next couple of months.
yeah.
And then this came out, and I'm just like, yeah. And like looking at the actors, you had Austin Butler, Miles Teller, Timothy Chalamet, and a couple others. I mean, of course you have like those guys, and then you have Paul Mescal, who's up and coming, who's gonna have, of course, with Ridley Scott, gonna have his bigger break with this. So it's like,
provided it's a good movie. I mean,
Yeah.
Ridley Scott is very much turning into a Clint Eastwood, but he can still deliver his films. Cry Macho is not a movie anybody needed, but
No.
it exists. So, all right,
I
because
will say that I feel like Gladiator 2 will be Ridley Scott's Avatar 2. Because it's
I
because-
guess I can kind of see that.
because it's the IP or the the thing that he started with, and then for so long there hasn't been a sequel, but he's been working on the sequel for so long, and now it's finally happening, and we'll see. But I feel like we'll have to see how it is because of his recent we'll see with Napoleon, the movie Napoleon with Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And then
I
we'll
think
see how-
has that already been shot?
Yes,
Okay.
it releases
Okay.
this year.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool,
Yeah.
cool. Have to dive in on that one there. But all right, I mean, I'm looking forward to it. We'll see what happens as time goes on. Hopefully we'll get a trailer before the end of the year. Maybe, I don't know, something. Yeah, I always enjoy what really brings to the table. He usually does one good one bad one. So
Right.
we'll have to wait and see how it all comes together. So all right, here the couple quick little things we got to check out. Three things we got to check out. The Arma Jets DLC trailer that Command Unit wants us to take a look at. We're talking about these, these generators, if you will, of these abilities. Is this another DLC thing that Command Unit enjoys? So and then we got the other one. I think it's like the Arma Infusion. What do you call
Before
it?
you go to this, I know you've seen Sea Beast, right?
Oh yeah. They're doing a sequel.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention that,
And
yeah.
they signed a whole deal with him.
With the creator.
Yeah, with the creator. And so
Nice.
Sea Beast 2 is the first one of that deal. And then there's a fantasy movie that's like Lord of the Rings and Princess Bride
Oh,
that will
okay.
come out of that deal
I
as well.
saw it briefly that Sea Beast was getting a sequel, and I liked
Yeah.
Sea Beast. I don't know what they're going to do with the sequel though, considering where they left
Right.
it. But Carl Urban was great. That little girl, I don't know her name, but she was pretty good. I really enjoyed her quite a bit. And yeah, it felt like a Disney movie that wasn't a Disney film.
Right. It
So if
did.
you guys haven't seen it, check it out. It's on Netflix. It's actually pretty solid. All right, here is the Arma 3 Jets DLC trailer. Okay. That was I mean, that looked interesting. I've never really been into those games, so DayZ using the Arma engine has always been fascinating. I can't believe like that game has still never ever come out of like beta phase or alpha phase. But it is available on Xbox Games Pass. So there's that. And then this is the other one here. Command Unit had brought up this. We'll take a look. We're not going to watch the full 9 minutes. This is or maybe we will if it's interesting. I don't know. And then, of course, there's going to be the Fox in Space one that we'll end it out with. So, you know, as always, if you guys like us to watch some certain stuff, we can do that. This would do it towards the end. So here we go.
Welcome to the video. Today, I wanted to try something a little bit different with some cinematic shots recorded in the Game Master of Arma Reforger, just showcasing some of the nice locations we can see around the map, as well as just how beautiful Infusion Engine can be. Recorded, cropped, and upscaled in 4K. Hopefully it comes out alright, and feel free to use any of this footage you see if you like it for an intro or outro on YouTube, or a Please Wait screen on Twitch, or anything like that. I hope you enjoy the music I chose for this video, and you make it all the way through without falling to sleep. Enjoy.
That's not a good sign. When the guy's like, please make it through my video without falling asleep. That'd be wonderful, thank you. By the way, ASMR.
As the person falls asleep within like the first 20 seconds.
Yeah, like what is this? Like the Black Adam challenge? Can I make it Can I make it to Superman?
Through the whole 9 minutes.
Yeah, no, it looks. I mean, look, it looks visually looks good.
20 seconds into it.
Yeah. Jeez. And the music's nice. It is relaxing. That is true. It's very relaxing.
And honestly unsettling. Where I'm like, something's gonna happen.
Yeah, you're like, this is an Arma thing, right? Like it's all warfare. But here's a nice piano tune. Nice medley to relax you before the Nazis come.
Right? Like out of nowhere some gunfire comes out of nowhere. It's like, oh god.
Nobody expects the Spanish Inquisition. Fuck.
Especially when you play piano and violin.
I feel like the music is something you would find like on like a 10-hour loop looking at a glacier.
Yes.
You know? It's just and I like it. I do watch those videos by the way, but
like
yeah.
10-hour things.
It's like here's 15 hours looking at forest life. And it's just like the same 5-minute clip of a deer and some bunnies on repeat with the music there. You're like, yeah, I'm good. I'm fine. This is fine.
I thought I was gonna see frogs jumping and stuff.
Yeah.
But no.
No, but some of those guys, they do pretty good with that. Like I've watched some of those, and they'll do like the cinemagraphs or whatever. Like they have really seamless. They make it seamless, and they'll run them for like 10 hours. And I'm like, God damn. Like,
I've seen.
do you
one.
make money on those? I don't even know.
I've seen one that was like 12 hours, but it was like an hour clip that was played 12 times. But
Yeah.
then like the last like clip would be like kind of cut off a little bit. And I'm like, damn it! Like there's like a little part of it that.
Oh, and once you've gone through the render of a 12-hour video, you're saying fuck it. You know, you're just saying fuck. Like, you're not going to want to deal with that again. Like that was the thing. Like even doing audio commentary for last night, it was audio, but I had a little video like that had some movement in the background, and it took like 15 minutes to export the 45-minute video at 720p.
Is someone gonna pop out? Oh,
No, they're not.
Is someone about to pop out like camouflage or something?
Yeah, it's gonna be like,
Like,
good day, mate. We're gonna go shoot ourselves some koalas. No, but then like the file was like 1.5 gigs. I'm like, I'm not gonna upload 1.5 gigs. So then I had to like run it through Handbrake, and I got it down to like 500 megabytes. You know, and they're like, God damn, like what the fuck does? Like, I almost said fuck it, just uploaded it as is. I'm like, screw it.
what?
I mean, that looks nice. That looks nice. All right, what do we got here? All right, we'll go for like another 20 seconds. All right, all I need is 20 seconds.
Did a big yawn.
You're like, send me the link to this video. I can pass out after it's over.
Or whatever. Like, if he has a link in the description of like what the sound is, because
I'll find out here in a second. All right, cool. We good. I think 4 minutes is fine. I mean, it's interesting, but it's like, yeah, it's starting to kind of wind me the fuck down.
Because honestly, that will put me to sleep right away.
Yeah, it's good shit though. I like it. Let's see here. Get your own Nitrado game server here. Follow me on Twitch. All footage is from Arma Reforger Early Access. Music credits is courtesy of Epidemic Sound.
No.
License Creative Commons. Oh, it's reuse allowed. So I mean, I'm going to look up here whether or not I'm going to get if I'm going to get a claim. Right, royalty-free music for all your videos. Okay, so if he's paid for it, then
like,
I should be okay.
You find out claim. It's like, oh, God.
Yeah. I'll end the stream and I get those all the time. Like I'm like, even the other night, I'm like, okay, cool, we did, and then like no copyright claim, and then I wake up and it's all like, you've got mail. I'm like, fuck, son of a bitch. You know,
It's
that's
like that one intern that fell asleep on the computer that didn't realize that there was a claim. Oh, we gotta send it now.
It's so annoying when that shit happens. All right, so here we go. This is Ryan Hartwell here. This is called The Fox in Space, Season 1, Episode 1, 6 years ago. And the guy's still working on Episode 2, apparently, but I get it.
Wait, didn't we watch something like this?
We watched, there was a Star Fox animated thing that we checked out.
For 2 minutes, right? That was like
yeah, because I didn't want to get the copyright claim on that shit.
That was like a trailer, correct?
No, it was something that came out for the video game.
Okay.
So, Rational here says you need to upgrade your GPU for when Starfield comes out. No, I got the Xbox, baby. Games Pass, bitch. And eventually, when I upgrade to the Xbox Series X, then I'll be able to get it played again. But in the meantime, I don't really care about that. I'm playing The Witcher 3 right now on my Series S, and it like looks amazing. So, whatever, dog. All right, let's see how this one is. It's a parody. You gotta love it. You gotta love it.
Previously on A Fox in Space.
We've got a security mission tomorrow where people could die, and you boys are in here playing video games.
Hey, nobody's gonna die tomorrow.
Yeah, Fox is right, Peppy. I mean, it's just a security detail on Fortuna. What could go wrong?
Well, if it isn't Fox McCloud, shoot me down if you can.
Peppy, long time no see.
You guys should just turn around and leave because you do not want to piss off my uncle.
Oh, just who I needed to see. Star Wolf.
This can't be happening.
All your friends are out of the game, Wolf. Don't make me shoot you down.
Now, come on. If we don't put Star Fox out of commission, we're gonna be standing tall in front of Andros.
I know where Fox McCloud's gonna be in 4 days, all by himself. When we roomed together in the academy, he told me about this old memorial out in the desert he visits the same day every year, which is coming up this weekend.
Is that a fact?
What is that?
Hands in the air, McCloud. Get down here, slowly. Good luck. Slow down.
Holy shit. It's really him. Take the phone right now. Hey, kiddo. You remember me? Your biggest fan.
As entitled to me by the Cornerian-Venomian treaties, I'm requesting arbitration by a neutral third party.
The article you're referencing only applies to military personnel.
General Pepper of the Cornerian Army will confirm to you that I am a captain.
Are prisoners of war. You, McCloud, captain or otherwise, are not currently a prisoner of war.
Then what would you like to call it? Kidnapping?
It's only standard detainment procedure. That's why we took your boots off and your belt and your shirt and all that.
Why, do you think I'm going to hang myself? Wait, should I hang myself? Where are you taking me?
Come on, you know it's for everyone's safety. Don't touch the bars.
Safety? I was on my way to a memorial to pay my respects. Wings closed, weapons non-deployed. What did you even hit me with? I've never seen anything like that.
Yeah, that's just a little upgrade. These guys just didn't want to take any chances.
Where are you taking me?
Yeah, I was just about to get to that. We're, well...
We are taking you to Andros.
Andros? Are you... Oh, jeez.
Somehow he admires you. If I were to guess, it is likely he has a proposition in mind. So consider yourself very lucky.
Believe it or not, he's actually kind of a fan. Even now, after you guys screwed up the whole Fortuna thing.
We were just doing our job.
And I'm just doing mine.
Don't sweat it, kiddo. He just wants to meet you, that's all.
Yeah, I bet that's exactly what he told you, too.
I'll be on the bridge if you need anything.
All right. All right. I waited till we were alone to ask this. That's me being nice. Can I see your legs?
You're serious?
Well, you know, people talk, word gets around. I'm genuinely curious.
Can't you just take my word for it that I don't have robotic legs?
I'd really like to, but can't you just do it for me just this once? I've got to know for sure.
Fine. See? They're 100% stock.
Yeah, I guess so.
What?
I wasn't.
I
He
was
was
just showing him my...
me.
Whoa, hey, I fully
What?
support whatever this is. I don't judge. Anyway, Sarge wants you guys
If you
at
look at
Dock
the
7 in 5 minutes.
All this.
We're meeting Andros in the Sargasso
Let me see your legs.
Lounge.
So I'm bringing him too.
That was
Just make sure you got him under control and all that good stuff.
under control.
Yeah, at gunpoint or whatever. I don't know. See you there.
Am I even gonna need this?
No.
Okay. Because you know if you try anything, I can just break your neck. Right.
Whatever. I'm not gonna be a problem. Can I have the rest of my
I
clothes
feel like
back
this is
now?
leading to an erotic
Or at
parody.
least just my shoes?
Right?
Come on.
Like,
See,
they're
you
gonna fuck. I
could,
have a feeling they're
but
gonna have sex.
We'd have to
I mean,
go back to
after
Papatoon.
that whole
Please
leg
tell me
scene.
that you didn't.
I
Little bit, yeah.
stacked
Little-
your
little
stuff
sus.
neatly in the corner of the
Little
cargo bay. But Peachy and Weaver threw it all out before we took off.
That is just so childish.
Yeah. Just, watch your step, I guess.
Hey, have you seen Fox?
Nope.
Looks like he's been gone all day. You got any idea where he might be?
No, I just got up.
Huh. Hey, Peppy, come here.
Yeah, hold on a minute.
Do the computer check thingy.
You mean the systems log?
Yeah, whatever.
Nope, nothing.
All right, what you need?
Have you seen Fox today?
No, I haven't seen him for a while. Did he leave?
His R-Wing's gone, but he didn't leave a message or nothing.
Yeah, he's going to see his secret lover, Wolf.
Next stop, Sargasso.
Just- maybe I've been on 4chan way too much. Like, it's warped my mind.
Right?
Floor is
Like,
freezing.
where
I'll
have I
have some
been
whiskey
too
with me.
much where
That should warm you up a bit.
my mind
Thanks,
just
but
went there
I don't
automatically.
drink.
That is so cute. Well, anyway, listen.
It's like, I'm freezing.
The
Here,
kind of
drink some
people that
whiskey
hang
with
out
me.
here aren't
It'll
exactly
warm me
fond
up.
of corneria,
We'll cuddle.
So I suggest not
Cuddle
causing
for the
a
night.
scene if you want to walk out of here alive.
Oh, trust me, I'm not gonna lose my cool in a bar full of Venomian mercenaries.
Look.
Oh, we've seen this before.
No shit.
Like
See?
this exact
I told
one.
you he was
I haven't.
Star Fox.
Oh, for God's sake.
What did I
My
tell
name
you?
is Fox McCloud. Star Fox is my team, not my name.
Then who have I seen this with? I feel like it was you.
No, I would have
Everything
remembered
is
this.
just fine. I've got it all under control. Just recommence with the festivities.
Weren't you friends with that Fox guy?
I don't know.
What the heck is your deal? If you want
Right.
to walk out of
No,
here,
I'm serious.
Yeah.
Is this
I'm like,
permanent? Is
this
everyone
feels
just
so
forever gonna
familiar.
not learn my name?
Oh,
I just don't
Ryan
know.
showed
What do
this
you,
on Max's
hey,
stream.
Can I help you?
yeah, he's not with me or anything.
So, are you really Star Fox?
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
All right, is there anything else we haven't thought of?
I can check his sign-off records real quick.
Yeah, do that.
Nah, nothing.
He didn't say anything about going anywhere.
You sure?
Nothing comes to mind. But then again, you do know how my memory's been getting.
Oh!
Slow it down, Slippy.
The memorial.
The memorial?
Oh, yeah, that's right. That was today.
I don't think I...
That thing Fox goes to every year. He's just on Papatoon, that's all.
Well, he ain't been answering my calls. Slippy, bring up the systems log for his R-Wing.
I just did half an hour ago. Nothing new.
Well, just check it one more time.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that's not good. Falco, you should probably...
One step ahead of you, old man. Flippy, get my R-Wing ready.
Sure thing.
Wolf, you know, I'm aware there's been this whole rivalry thing between us since we were in Academy. I get it, really. But I never would have thought you'd help orchestrate something like this.
You screwed me and my friends out of a lot of money, kiddo. You can't say you didn't have this coming.
And somehow you think turning me over to Andros makes us even. Get real.
Hey, don't get sore at me. Besides, I'm the only reason you're not in handcuffs right now.
Oh, I'm so grateful you're letting me take it so easy. I just have a feeling that he wants me dead.
Well, if he wanted you dead, you wouldn't even be here right now. I think he just wants to talk about what happened on Fortuna. All right, smiles, everybody. Here we go.
So that's Andros.
Fox McCloud, where are my manners? So exhilarating to finally meet you in person.
Oh, I can guarantee you the exhilaration's all mine. Look, if you need to talk to me about something, do you mind if we go somewhere that has carpet? You see, I don't have any shoes on, and the floor's kind of cold and really sticky.
Where are the rest of his clothes?
Well, sir, you see what had happened was,
Malcolm, what are you seeing down there?
I found his R-Wing. It's totaled. And some tracks. They look like Venomian army.
Oh, Lord, that's what I was afraid of. I'll try and run a wake scan to see if there's any.
Oh, no.
What is it? Did you find him?
No. But wherever he is, I bet he ain't having a good time.
There is some serious sexual assault insinuation there. That was interesting. Like, I would watch more of that. If that's
Wow, that was 13 minutes. That felt like 5.
It went, yeah, it was like, you have to get into it a little bit. You have to get used to it a little bit. There's I saw the comment there about it being reminding of Ralph Bakshi art. Yeah, the vibe I was getting was kind of like the old Disney Robin Hood movie. Like, I know it used a lot of rotoscoping and they reused some of the animation, but it kind of felt like the vibe from like the old like 60s and 70s animation.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was some furry shit right there. Those guys were so gonna bone.
Oh,
but you know what? They had chemistry, right? They had some chemistry. You feel like, yeah.
It was it's like, you know, like where, yeah, it was that type of chemistry.
No wonder
Where,
he put the thing on there, the disclaimer. Nintendo. Ryan here says, almost feels like something you'd see on Adult Swim. I mean, old Adult Swim, yeah.
Swim, they would probably make you know that there is tension.
Yeah, there'd be a lot of tension. And then a lot of release, if you know what I mean. But no, Ezekiel 2023 or whatever it is. It's the one where it's like, that's the Bible quote about their members being as big as donkeys and their emission being that of horses.
Wow.
Yeah, just huge dicks and throwing rope. But no, I could see that being on Adult Swim back in the day. I mean, like, it definitely had a very specific vibe to it, which I was getting into.
Yeah.
Even if it was a little bit weird, like, I felt like some of the pauses on the animation or on the dialogue were just like waiting for it to set in. All right, hold on here. Shrek Daddy says, please watch Eamon Animation's recent video on Trump. Is it long? Because I do want to go to bed. And all right, let's see. We'll take a look here real quick. Is it like the Feast of the Apostles? Holy shit. Yeah, that thing's 13 minutes. No, I'm good. I'll tell you what, we'll watch it later, just not at the end right now, and I'm trying to wind this thing down. So, because it's like 13 minutes, that's a long one. No, I'll definitely watch it. We'll definitely watch it. Just like, it's 13 minutes. I don't want to watch. I wanted to wind it down. So, no. I'll tell you, I'll watch it off air. How about that? Because I want to go to bed. Yeah, no, Ryan, I liked it. It just, like, we're joking about it a bit, but it was interesting. I wouldn't mind seeing it. Shrek, we'll check it out later on, okay, when it's not the very end of the stream. Anyway, I do appreciate you. Thank you guys very much. On that note, folks, it's about 2 hours into the sucker. I'm going to go pass out. Good hanging out with everybody. And fine, we'll watch it like tomorrow or something. Jesus. All right. Good night, everybody, and peace the hell out.